Me again, because it's Monday, of course. And this week the challenge is to talk about a film from each decade and say whether you'd recommend the film to family and friends. So for the 60s, I thought I'd choose The Sound of Music. I mean, it's such a great film if you love like musicals and things like that. Obviously you probably know quite a few of the songs because it's such a famous film, and I think it just kind of it makes you happy because just you see how a family changes and develops with just one person coming in, and it's nice. I use that word a lot. It's basically about a family of Austrians. I think they're Austrian. Well, it's set in Austria, and they the dad hires a nanny to look after the children, and she's a nun called Maria. And then the family are quite strict, and she kind of changes them and helps them to open up their mind to singing and making their own clothes and things like that. And then eventually her and Captain Von Trapp get married, and you think that's where it ends, but then they have to like run away from the Nazis because of the war and stuff like that. I'm just really bad at describing things, but anyway, yeah, I would recommend that if you like musicals, definitely. For the 70s, I'm gonna go with one of my favourite films that's really, really strange, and it's called Man Who Fell to Earth, or something like that. Favourite. It's got David Bowie in it, and it's about an alien called Thomas. No, Thomas Newton or something like that. Thomas Jerome Newton, or it doesn't really matter. Okay, and he's an alien who comes down to Earth because he wants to transport water to his home country, home planet, and he gets mega rich with this company, and he becomes one of like the most famous guys ever, and it's so strange. And then he like, while he's still kind of poor, he meets this woman, Mary Lou, who's played by an actress called Candy Clark, and they kind of get together even though he's got a wife back in his home planet. And it's strange because you don't really know if it's like in years or in months or whatever. So anyway, he gets mega rich, and they end up in this big house, and then like he decides to show his true self to her, and she like freaks out, and cookies are thrown everywhere. Cause madness. Yeah, so it is a strange film, and it's very difficult to explain because the plot is all over the place, and I mean in true David Bowie form, it's just so strange and everywhere. But it is good if you've got 2.5 hours to spare and you've got the mind of a sharp person to follow it. Then I think I'd recommend it in that respect. And the 80s, oh, this is hard because I don't really. I'm probably going to go with E.T. I think E.T. was made in the 80s, and if it wasn't, I'm going to talk about it anyway. Because, I mean, I've watched this film since I was little, and apparently it scares people, and I don't know how. It's about another alien who actually looks like an alien this time, and he is taken in by this family, well, this boy, who tells his two siblings, and they try and keep him safe and try and get him home. And eventually the mom finds out, and then the FBI find out, and then E.T. gets really ill, and then Elliot, the boy, gets really ill, and then E.T. dies, and then he comes back to life, and oh, it's so sad. I mean, I did cry several times throughout the film. And I'm not really a crying person, I say, as I cry every night. It is a good film. I mean, all three films that I've chosen are good if you like different specific eras of film. Yep. I apologize. I'm all over the place today. I'm really quite hyper, and it's been a boring day, so I kind of hyped myself up for no apparent reason and all that. And I apologise so much for missing videos and things like that, but the girl that Cleo that's on a Thursday has had a lot of problems with her microphone and sound, and she tried to upload one the other day, and you just couldn't even understand a word she was saying because the sound was so bad. And I really don't know what happened to the Saturday girl. She just like disappeared. I couldn't get in contact with her. But hopefully, as we try and get this sorted, and I do apologise, not that you care probably, but that's life and you have to go on with it. So I hope you continue to watch these videos, and I hope you subscribe and comment with suggestions and things like that, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.